Hey, A-Train.
Yeah, B-man.
Oh, what are you doing over there? Listening to rap beats?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Did you know that the World Record Podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp?
BetterHelp?
Yeah, and World Record Podcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/worldrecord.
That's BETTERHELP.com/world record.
Now listen to this.
I'm house sitting for the Goo Goo Dolls right now.
They all live together in one house.
Yeah. Johnny Verzesnik. Isn't that the Goo Goo Dolls guy's name? Johnny Verzesnik?
I don't know.
Yes.
I just saw they're on tour. Are you babysitting the Goo Goo Dolls? You're babysitting?
I am. Is it okay if I listen? Is it okay if I listen to Iris while we talk?
Yeah.
That's what I really want the headphones for.
You're babysitting their dolls? They have an extensive doll collection.
I'm taking care of their porcelain dolls.
You have to dust the porcelain doll faces
It's like
off.
The Boy. Like that movie, The Boy. Have you seen that movie, Lizzy?
No.
Brahms, The Boy,
It's
too.
about a girl who gets a job as a nanny, but like she gets there and she's
It's for a
basically
doll
babysitting a porcelain doll named Brahms.
who's haunted. You know what? The first
haunted.
one is I think you could just jump right into Brahms, The Boy, too, right?
I feel like Brahms the Boy 2 is scarier. Brahms the Boy 1, the twist is just kind of
It's
no
annoying.
good.
It's stupid. So, but that's what I'm saying. You can jump into Brahms the Boy 2 without having seen
Brahms
The Boy.
1. Well, because it's sort
it's
of
not
different.
Brahms 1. It's called The Boy is the first one.
The Boy. Because Brahms the Boy 2 sort of changes the rules that were put in place from The Boy. Yeah?
Do they have to wipe goo off the dolls?
Is that the problem with the Goo Goo Dolls' doll collection?
Too much goo.
There's all this. Yeah, there's green slime, and so I just have to come over here twice a day and wipe the slime that it just flows from their eyes every couple hours.
That sounds like the dolls are haunted.
Kind of like
There's
The
Goo Goo
Boy.
Dolls.
Kind of like The Boy or Brahms the Boy 2. In The Boy, Brahms is always checking out the girl while she's like changing and shit. Like he's kind of a creep doll.
Katie Holmes is in
Brahms the Boy 2.
Can you hear this?
Yeah.
And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow.
This is a girl singing?
It's sped up.
This is the chipmunk version.
Not
gonna
quite.
say, it
Why not
sounds
do it? It's like the midget version, really.
Yeah, well,
Not quite a chipmunk.
not quite a chipmunk, not quite a midget. Stop trying to look at my fucking pussy. I just want you to suck on my
Face
dick.
down. Face down.
Damn it! You got another nose pick. Got another nose pick.
Not quite a chipmunk version. You know that we could incorporate that into our improv. So Lizzy, we're an improv
Oh,
troupe
yeah.
now. You and me and the A-Train.
Oh, yeah, and that woman who works at Lens Crafters.
Wasn't it a crystal place?
We called a woman who worked at Lens Crafters and you didn't know what COVID-19 was. And you still don't.
Yeah. Did we do that? Oh, wait.
Maybe that was just you
We
and
did.
Lizzy.
We called a pizza place where I didn't know where COVID-19 was. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
that was
right, right.
that was an ongoing bit for me, so I could have done it there. But I thought there was a lady we called a crystal shop. It's just like, I really need to quit all this. We called a crystal shop.
I have my tarot cards, by the way.
Read, pull some cards for Brendan and see like what's going on with him.
It'll say
let
everything
me
you've
grab
done.
them.
Everything
I brought tarot cards, but no headphones.
it'll say everything you've done so far in your life has been a tragic mistake.
Yeah,
and
you're a
it's
big
not going to
fucking
end up
loser.
well for you.
So just kill yourself. Hopefully that's what it
basically
says.
what it's going to say. And
And I don't
I'll
have to deal
gladly
with you anymore.
oblige the cards. Don't ever go against the cards. Now, why is this? Oh. Hold on.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Brendan,
Funny tarot card readings.
I want you to dig deep into your soul.
Okay. I'm dug deep.
Okay, think of something that's really been on your mind lately, Brendan.
Okay.
Then say stop.
Okay, stop.
Okay. How many card reading do you want? 3 or 10?
Let's keep it to 3 if that'll not take up the whole
Sure.
podcast.
Brendan, in the past,
Oh,
you
no.
are stressed, honey.
Yeah, I stressed about the past.
Brendan, you were having a lot of anxiety. Things weren't going your way recently. You took a nap with swords in your back.
Took a
Is it
nap.
you resting in the break room of medieval times?
Oh, I didn't notice that was a guy there. Okay. Is that what it really means, though? That I'm stressed?
It means that you recently felt like you really hit a rock bottom.
Oh, well, yeah, those things work, huh? I always thought that was bullshit, but apparently scientifically it's proven correct.
Well, what else is there? What's the other card say?
Well, let me tell you something. There is good news. There's a sun. The sun is coming up. So this is the end of it, basically. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, great.
Brendan, in the present, you're experiencing a great deal of romance.
Well, don't let Amanda hear that because that's supposed to be a secret.
Because that's not with me, so I'm just confused as to who he would be having romance with.
So,
Someone with a similar haircut.
Pat Benatar. Didn't I meet? Oh, no, Joan Jett. That's who I met.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You met her?
Yeah.
So cool.
I
She
went to
gave my
go-
sister a guitar pick.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I got to see her. I saw her at some casino in where was it? Like somewhere out like Palm Springs-ish, and we went backstage and then went back to her hotel room and hung out there.
Brendan, I'm going to say really stay locked into this energy for now because you're not going to like the future.
Oh, I already know that. Go ahead. Yeah, that's no good, right?
Fighting.
It's a conflict card,
Yeah.
but you can work it out. Let's draw one more
Yeah.
card to
Don't
inform it.
see
You
it,
know what you
like,
need to do,
That's
Brendan?
her,
I
that's
really
her
suggest
positive spin that she's putting on it. You can work it out. Here's a card that shows everybody beating you to death with, this is your future. You're getting beat to death with logs, but it'll be fine.
Brendan, you need to start a meditation practice.
Yeah, I know.
So that's what it's saying. It's saying this is like advice card. Pause, take a nap.
Okay. Right now?
Yes, let me talk to Amanda for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm here.
Pause, take a nap, lie down, take some Xanax and a glass of wine.
I love that. Did you say that because I told you that's the best combination?
You know why I say that is because that's what this woman does on the TV show Virgin River, which I was trying to get you guys to watch.
You know what? I
happen.
signed into Netflix and it was like suggested to watch something you may like, Virgin River. Maybe I should watch
It said you might like it.
Yeah. I don't know if it heard this, our previous podcast or something. Or wait, were we just texting about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Netflix.
I said I thought I had COVID-19 because
Because you say that.
I said
That's
I
how
knew
you start
something was
every.
wrong when
That's how you start every conversation. That's why you said it. That's how every interaction with you has started over the past 3 years. Brendan,
right. Do you have COVID?
hold on. Tell me. We're gonna play a little game, okay? It's called Guess Who.
Okay.
It's called Guess Who This Is. All right. All right, welcome to Guess Who This Is. This is BW. And now I'm going to do an impression, and you have to guess who this is. Are you ready, A-Train?
Yeah.
Brendan? I think I might have COVID. Brendan?
Are you Lizzy?
Do you have COVID? Wait, what was your guess? What was your guess?
My guess was maybe Lizzy Cooperman.
All right, well.
Amanda, should we draw some cards for Amanda? By the
Yes.
way, guess what? I'm now a professional tarot reader.
Now what's separate? Oh, you are. I thought you said I'm no professional tarot. So wait, so you went pro. So now you're not eligible for the Tarot Olympics anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Olympics are all amateurs.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to take the risk because I need clients, by the way. If you want a tarot reading, go to my website, LizzyCooperman.com. I know you can get a one-on-one tarot reading. Perverts are welcome.
Will you do? Can you flip the cards with your feet? Somebody just commented that.
Brendan, by the way, when you guys were on my podcast, someone said, I really wanted to hear more about what that guy had to say about pornography.
Me? Oh, right. When I was
yeah, because you were
yeah.
talking about, you went on a porn
Oh, that's
rant.
good. That's good that they wanted to hear that.
My friend Bryce was like, I thought that was really interesting. So
Tell them to listen to our podcast because we talk about it
I know.
like every other episode.
No, we don't. I have brought it up here though. When when something big kind of dawns on you, like where you're like, how did I never see this before? And you just kind of talk about it a lot. So once I had like this epiphany of like, wait a minute. So 20 years ago, they were just like, yeah, nothing we can do about unlimited free pornography for everyone.
Why would they?
Because
the people in charge are disgusting perverts.
Well, I
want
feel like
access
it's
to
a
whatever they
means
want.
to an end. I feel like a population that's addicted to pornography and processed
Porn's
food
not so bad. What were you saying, Lizzy?
I drew 3 cards for you and
Okay.
they're crazy.
Okay, good. Say it.
Amanda,
Okay.
did you recently have to evacuate a building?
No,
Wait, is this?
I
Are
don't
these?
think so.
Are you just making up the? Do you know what? Is that what these cards mean?
I do.
I thought it was like a literal.
I do actually.
Because like, isn't the one like the death card? That's not bad, right? Or is
It means transformation.
Right,
I don't know.
right,
Do you
right.
think death is bad?
Who knows at this? You know what? I kind of long for the sweet embrace of
Oh,
death
God,
at this point
shut
in my
up.
life. So
Such a baby.
we'll see. We'll see when it happens this week. Hellman, check it out.
Go.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Online therapy. Check them out at betterhelp.com/world record and get 10% off because you're a friend. Listen into World Record Podcast. Go to betterhelp.com/world record.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours.
Why invest in everything else and not your mind?
That's what I was going to say. I invest in crypto, I invest in stocks, I invest in bonds. Now I'm going to invest in my
your
mind. This podcast is sponsored by
BetterHelp, and World Record Podcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/world record.
That's BETTERHELP.com/world record.
Now, back to our program.
So wait, so what's my tower? What's the tower card?
The tower is like major, dramatic, can be catastrophic event. You had a major shift in your life. Something just blew apart, basically.
The toilet this morning. That's what happened to her. So that was it.
I don't know.
We figured
Maybe.
it out.
Maybe internally.
She blew up the toilet this morning.
Yeah, I
You know what,
literally.
though? I didn't ask Amanda to stop. Maybe I should have done another, because look at what I got for the present.
That's me.
Oh my God, what does that mean?
The devil, it says. For people just listening.
It's
if
got
you're
a
not watching-
pentagram on the top. It's got
It's the
hairy
devil.
goat legs. It's got two slaves, sex slaves, I'm guessing, with
It's the
fire
devil.
tails.
The card says the devil.
It says the devil, but I'm describing the card.
Well, you just...
This is me and Aaron Brungardt on the bottom.
You're my slave.
So wait, yeah, if she didn't say stop, doesn't this nullify this whole reading?
Should we do it again?
And then you know what?
Oh,
And that's bad, right?
that looks scary.
What's that one called?
Cups.
I'm going to say, I think that I drew this during the pornography conversation and it was picking up that energy. So we should do that. This is 5 of Cups. This is a sense of loss and kind of looking around like, oh my God, like a period of grief. Let's do a different one.
I
for
think you're
Amanda
still
where she
doing
actually
me.
I
says
think that's
stop.
Brendan.
You know what it
still.
is? Yeah, it's still me because I'm the last person who said stop. So you're still on me.
Grief, sadness, all that
Right.
good stuff. It's Brendan still.
It is.
Okay, wait, but I want to do me. I want to do me.
Can I go on record and say I used to be happy and fun-loving and funny?
I don't remember.
I did
that.
used to be those things.
Before many.
Can I tell you
years ago.
something?
Up until
I can
about-
only shuffle the cards if Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls is playing.
Okay.
And then Amanda, you say stop.
Okay.
Can it be playing at sped up?
Chipmunk style.
Yeah, that'll still get the right energy going.
Okay.
But then Amanda, I'm going to start shuffling and you tell me to stop.
Okay. Okay, stop. Stop.
Are you really at a Goo Goo Doll's house or is that a joke?
No, I'm at the Goo Goo Dolls house.
But that's
They all lived. All the dolls live together. The Goo Goos.
But I don't want the world to see me.
I think there's only 2 original Goo Goo Dolls. Maybe not. I don't know. They were playing at the Greek or something recent. They were playing. I got an ad on Instagram because the phone listens to me and it hears me talking about the Goo Goo Dolls all the time. So I got an ad for them being on tour. But there's only a picture of the singer and another guy, which leads me to believe they're the only 2 original members of the band. I could be wrong though.
I wouldn't know.
You're correct. That is correct.
Really? You know that?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah. The other doll was donated to Goodwill.
Oh, snap. All right, do her tarot reading. We have improv to do.
Amanda, in the recent past, you really had to collaborate with some other people.
Oh, probably.
You talked about plans. Maybe you're building something. Are you building a cathedral by chance?
She had to talk to
No.
the toilet paper guy at the supermarket.
This is a talks about collaboration and working together with other people. And it's 3 of Pentacles. And so it's very much about material possessions, maybe a conversation about money or homes
Or
or,
a
something
job.
like that.
Or like getting a job.
Yes.
Okay.
3 of Pentacles. And here's me.
Hi, Lizzie. There you are.
Why aren't you wearing that outfit?
I was gonna say it looks cute.
It's like a Teletubby kind of.
I wear a nightgown to the cathedral. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Page of Pentacles in the present. You're manifesting things right now. Did you know that?
I did.
Everything's kind of going to come true for you in a
Ooh.
very practical way.
I like that.
You're going to, yeah.
I like
And
that.
it might come through someone
Come.
really young. The
Come.
page is a very
C-U-M.
young card.
C-U-M.
Like my kids, maybe. Come.
Yeah, maybe. If it's reversed,
The baby.
I would say it's Brendan because that means immature.
I don't know.
Bitch. She
Okay.
got you, bitch.
Everybody who's tuning out, just stop. We're gonna stop.
No,
this.
wait, come on. Let's
Okay.
read my future, please.
Okay.
Well, I think you're going to like it actually.
Yes. Mine are all positive.
The Pentacle of Toilets. What's a pentacle and why does everything have a pentacle name in there?
That is interesting. So pentacles represent money and like the material world. things that are
Now, would this be considered witchcraft?
witchcraft.
The tarot reading.
Yes.
That
Wait,
is
what's Knight of
Well, to
Cups?
some, no.
What's Knight of Cups? That's a good one.
Knight of Cups. So you're very much like at the helm of your emotions right now.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. So this is
Yeah, it can also be a person too,
I'm at the helm of a person.
who's handling things with grace. It's like someone coming towards you, moving slowly, kind of with the feeling of like,
I know who it is. She's
know.
having like an emotion. She's cheating on me with somebody kind of already.
Ooh.
You know who. You know who.
To cheat on
He's
someone,
bringing
don't
you
you
a
like need to
Moscow
have
mule.
sex with someone?
No,
or kiss
there's
them?
emotional cheating too, and there's
Oh
a lot
my
of
God.
flirtatious texts, and she's going to wind up with somebody, which is not going to be good because it's not a good.
A lot of flirtatious texts. Show
Yeah.
me the flirtatious text.
I'll show you.
this is definitely not Brendan.
It's a knight. It's like a brave warrior,
does it mean?
gladiator. What does it mean?
Well, it can mean a person. It can represent a person coming into your life with like a very calming, peaceful energy.
Ooh.
Or it can
could
mean
use
that
that.
that's the way you're going to handle these situations. The way you're going to handle the collaboration that you're in, the manifestation of these new opportunities that are coming your way.
Okay, let's call.
Essentially.
Now that is a good tarot reading.
Should we call someone and give
If
them?
in all your history of tarot reading, was that not one of the best ones you've read?
One of the best.
Positive. Very
100%.
positive. Awesome. I love it.
And what kind of like emotional breakdown or whatever leads women to become tarot card readers?
Did you know that I was an apprentice to a palm reader named Baba Shalom?
No.
No.
When I was in my 20s, I moved to New York and I was sitting in a coffee shop and this man teetered down the sidewalk and he looked like a vulture in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
And he was like, he came up to me, I was writing in my journal and he goes, "You're going to be a great writer. I see this for you." And later I was like, oh, I was writing in my journal at the time.
Yeah. Later, how much later did it take you?
After she worked with him for 5 years.
Yeah.
Wait
After
a
he's
second.
cleaned out my bank account.
So then we became friends and I went with him to a reading and he had me take over the reading and I got everything right about this woman. And so he started bringing me to see all of his clients.
That's cool. So when you
I think he passed away because I've looked him
Aw.
up because he used to have a cable access show called Baba Shalom
Okay.
and I can't find it anywhere. There's
So when you
no
did a
record.
reading
Otherwise,
of-
get his name.
when you did the reading of the girl and you got everything right, were you just guessing, or were you like is there a verb of intuition? Like, were you just intuiting? Is that a word? I don't know.
Like channeling
Yeah,
or having
yeah.
like a divination or something.
Yeah.
So the woman that I talked to, she was a princess and she was like this really wealthy woman. And she just had this very sad kind of mopey, she was like wrapped in a shawl, like holding a hot drink, just a very, didn't seem to have a very adventurous spirit, very closed off. I was telling my friend, she seemed wet. Like she just seemed like a kind of person who'd be like sopping wet.
You're talking. Wait a minute. This is a family podcast.
No, let her finish. Let her finish.
I was just telling, do you know Roz Hernandez? I was just telling my friend Roz about this. Okay. So she said, I can't, she didn't want to move out of her neighborhood. She needed to live. She's like, I need to live next door to my mother. I need to be next to my mother. My mother's old. She's getting sick. And in my mind, I was thinking, you're using this as an excuse so that you don't have to go and live your life on your own terms.
Mm-hmm.
You're using your mother as a crutch. It became evident to me. And so while I was sitting there, I said, let me see a picture of your mother. And she showed me a picture of her mom, and it was the most radiant woman I've ever seen.
It was Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Well, her
Just
mom is
full of life
This
and-
woman was this woman
It
literally.
was Joan Jett.
Was this woman literally a princess?
I think so, but wouldn't that have made her mother a queen?
Yeah, or some other type of. I don't know how royalty
Duchess or
works.
something.
I know how royalty should work. They should all be lined up and beheaded, and have the wealth redistributed around the globe.
You don't think that the Queen of England is an important?
I think.
Person.
I feel. I think. Isn't that family the Windsors? Which is their? Is that their last name? Is her name Elizabeth Windsor?
I'm gonna have to.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's call someone.
I'm gonna have to.
But they're worth like $1 trillion, so that could really help. You know, I'm fine with having a couple dozen inbred demons get their heads chopped off if it's going to prevent a few 100,000 kids from starving to death.
But how do they have so much money? Like the
'Cause
people
they're
of England
demons.
get taxed, and it just goes to the Queen.
I guess. I don't know. Well, they own all the land there somehow. That's what I don't understand is like, how can that? There's like 1 billion people there. Just go get them. Go get them.
But also there's a prime minister. Like there's a whole other separate governing
that's
government.
just a whole. That's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors.
But like,
It's
does
the-
the Queen make decisions? She's so fucking old.
I don't know how. I don't know.
Brendan,
Really, I don't know how it works. But I feel like
interesting.
they have this parliament shit as like a smoke. It's like, see, we'll have all this so people get mad at them
Yeah.
while we're back here just kind of like
the
owning
Queen
everything.
could dissolve Parliament. That's one of their powers. They could just dissolve it.
I dissolved a Rolaids in soda. Earlier.
Okay. Yes, Lizzie. Yeah. We see you.
Brendan, I'm surprised you don't know this as a self-proclaimed Markle head.
Yeah. I am a Merkel head. What do I need to know? Oh, she's a
You
princess.
would not shut up about Meghan Markle for like 2 years.
I know. I still talk about Meghan Markle. It's pronounced Merkel, actually. It is. That's the proper
It's
pronunciation.
spelled Markle, but you pronounce it Merkel.
Merkel.
Oh, okay. Got it.
She's a princess.
Yeah, I guess so.
She could star in Merkel's house.
Merkel's
You
house.
haven't been talking about her lately, though. Did you switch?
Well, I think once they moved here and sort of renounced their titles, the interest just kind
Yeah,
of
I'm only interested in actual royals.
Yeah, not someone who's like, no, I don't want it. Thanks, but I'm going to develop
Right.
shows for Netflix.
So anyway,
Us and the
can
Obamas.
I tell you what happened with Baba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was working for Baba Shalom, and this woman shows me a picture of her mother. And Baba later said, you were right. Her mother was not sick. She was using her mother as a crutch. Mm-hmm. Then he started taking me to see all his clients. Well, then I needed a place to live. And I was bartending at the time also. And I was just talking, this guy came up to the bar. It was this party with like a lot of wealthy people. And I said, oh, and I'm looking for a job. And he goes, well, I need a nanny. And I asked Baba Shalom, should I go live with this guy and become a nanny for his children? And Baba was like, yes, do it. I see this as being a great opportunity. He was like, this man loves you. He opens his home to you. I moved all my stuff into this guy's house. There were no kids.
Uh-huh.
Well, I met the kids once. They didn't even live there.
Oh.
So I just moved in with this man I didn't know.
Nice place.
Yeah, I mean, it was in Tribeca, and it was like a 3-story building that he owned. And every night he would be like, can you come upstairs, please? And I would go upstairs and we would sit. He would sit on the back of his bed and I would sit like at the front of his bed and we would watch TV. And I was like, I think this is my job to watch TV with this guy.
Yeah.
Every night he would watch the Angels in America made for TV movie. And one night we were sitting there watching and I was like, what's that smell? And I turned around. It was crack.
Oh.
Oh my God.
And I go, are you smoking crack? And he goes, that's the real reason I brought you here. He's like, we need to get me sober. And he takes out this like pill organizer and he's showing me all his pills and how we're going to wean him off drugs. And I was like, I'm really not qualified to do this,
I thought I was going to be a nanny.
I thought you were just going to make me give you a hand job. Can we just do that?
Yeah, that would be better.
So then the next night I came home and my door didn't work. Like I couldn't get into my apartment, which is on the bottom floor through the garage. And there was a note on my door that said, "It's so nice. The scary part is over." And I opened it. It had this little purple flower attached to it. It was so bizarre. I opened it and I read this letter, and it was like just this insane, nonsensical letter about, "We're so happy to have you here. I should be home around 9 p.m." But it was like 11 p.m. when I opened the letter. And some weird reason he had to have the locks changed. So I couldn't stay there that night. I had to sleep at a friend's. And when I came back the next morning, there were police cars everywhere.
Oh my God.
And I found out that this guy had staged a burglary for insurance money. And so he intentionally like locked me out of my apartment.
Oh my God.
And I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to live. It was crazy. So then I remember being like so pissed, and I had like my garbage bags full of things. And I was like, "Where's Baba Shalom?" I was so mad.
It's Baba Shalom's fault. So is the Shalom
That is a
thing? Is it
wild
because
story.
he's like a Jewish palm reader? Baba Shalom? Yeah. Well, that's the
He was
problem
Jewish.
there. Yeah. That's a major red
Right.
flag right there.
You don't want to work with someone like that.
But don't worry, he changed his name to Baba Berenstain.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Change his name
So
to...
what happened with that
Mandela.
guy? What happened with that
change
guy?
his name to Yogi Dreidel.
What a crazy story.
I never saw him again.
You should make a movie out of that. Or
The
something.
guy, you never saw the crack guy again?
Nope, I never saw him again. He kept texting me, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "There's no way I'm going back to your house."
But you got all your stuff out of there or no?
Yep. I went back the next day. I somehow got in to get my stuff out.
Cops kicked the door down.
Oh, I know why. He had this helper named Chad, whose full name was Chadley.
Oh, cool. That's
And
actually
Chadley let me in.
cool. Chadley. So this is the kind of wealth that exists. I mean, it exists everywhere, but in New York City, here,
Right.
that's like, I remember I wound up at a party or it wasn't really a party. It was like I was visiting a friend of mine, this artist guy, who had moved to New York from Austin. And he had some like friends. Either way, we wound up hanging out with some of his friends at his friend's dad's place, which was similar to what you're describing, like 3 stories in Soho. There was like
Right.
an elevator, and just not. It was kind of my first glimpse at like that kind of wealth. Like not even realize, because it's not like, oh, this is crazy impressive. It's like, wow, this is nice. But in Soho, it's like, this is $15 million. Like this isn't just like a
Right.
nice
Yeah.
triple loft residence. And we were listening to the guy was playing music really loud. And I was like, God, that sounds really good. And he's like, oh yeah, those speakers are like $30,000 each.
Oh my.
And I was like, what? That can't be right. I mean, even though I was like in my, early to mid 20s, I was like, oh,
Right.
what does your dad do? And he's like, he's a hedge fund. Like, I just didn't understand anything. Like, I had never heard of a hedge fund before. It was like, oh, your dad's a billionaire. And he has 30.
Right.
Yes, like right there, that stereo is $100,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that that's even made. Like you can buy a stereo for $100,000. Seems ridiculous.
There's always people. I mean, I do feel like living out here for the past 15 years or however long I've been here. That's the kind of business to get into, is something that is just caters to the super wealthy. Like I've used
Right.
as an example, like of like the golden dog shit picker upper or whatever, where it's just like, I come clean up after, where it's just like $1,000 a week for me to clean up your
Yeah.
dog shit, and you just get 10 of those people. You work an hour, but that's just because once you get one rich person, they just
Suckered into
recommend
it.
they're like, oh no, you got to use my guy. He like puts he lays your dog's shit in like wraps it in bamboo and then does a ritual and buries it in your
Well, I
backyard.
remember there was a thing like someone was telling
Right.
me about like Andy Samberg or something. Him and his wife did something where they like had their blood drawn and like had nutritional plan based off of
Yeah.
like their blood type. Where that seems like something too, where it's like, oh no, they did it. Like you have to do this. We just got this
Right.
done. It's really great.
And then you call
it's
the
like,
guy and he's like, that's $15,000. And then
Yeah.
he sends you a note that says, eat fruits and vegetables
Yeah.
and exercise.
Stop eating like processed foods
Don't eat
because you have a
McDonald's.
type O negative blood.
Oh, well, here's your whole chart of blood.
Oh yeah. Yes, Lizzy.
Hi, Lizzie. Hi.
We see you, honey.
Can I tell you something else?
Yeah.
The rich don't pay you on time
Yeah, I know.
because they don't understand the urgency.
Yeah.
Like this guy, I don't think he even ever paid me. Then this is crazy. When I was like 26 or something, I dated a 52-year-old Hungarian sculptor who I met on a bench in New York.
Wait, Lizzie, that was just a sculpture of a man on a bench. That was one of those public art things.
But he ended up, I thought he was, I truly, by his outfit and stuff like that, thought he was homeless. He was wearing this like torn shirt that said, I love ukulele. I met him outside of a coffee shop. We started talking and he was like, are you an artist? And I was like, yeah, I'm a writer and a comedian. He was like, I'm an artist too. And we started talking. I had a ticket to a play and I invited him to a play and he goes, well, can I go home and change clothes first? And I was like, sure. And he had this little dog and we started walking. I can't believe I did stuff like this, by the way, when I was 26. Amanda, that's how old you are, right?
I was 26 a few years ago, but I'm not right now.
She's 31.
I followed a stranger to his home. We go to his place. I noticed, first of all, his dog has a Louis Vuitton dog collar. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And then we go to his place. It's 666 is the address, 666 Greenwich Street. It's this gigantic building. I later found out Monica Lewinsky lived there.
Oh my God.
I go to his house. He's like, do you want to come up with me? And I was like, I kind of do want to see this building, you know? I go up to his place. He comes downstairs in this like designer shirt that like looks like an aquarium, you know? And he's like, I'm ready to go to the play.
His fish.
But it was too late to go to the play.
He was wearing shoes that had big heels that were actual fish tanks.
You know what he was wearing? He was wearing gloves for feet. He was wearing those shoes, the Vibram 5-toe shoes.
I'm looking at the building. Maybe it's changed a bit. Were there shops on the main floor?
666 Greenwich.
Yeah, in New York, right?
Maybe it did. Maybe it was torn down. This was so long ago.
Yeah, I think it may have been. This doesn't.
The archive building. No, this is it. The archive building. 666.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not
Anyway,
watching the videos,
I ended up moving in with this guy.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I have to get a job. And he goes, no. He goes, you don't have to get a job. He goes, write a movie. He told me he was going to pay me to write a movie for his dog, Joey,
Great.
or his dog, Joy. He kept going, Joy. He goes, I want to write these movies where my dog is giving like tours of other cities. And I wrote all of these short films where I'm like, hi, I'm Joey. Welcome to New York City. It would be like the dog in a jean jacket. He's holding a piece of pizza. Then the pizza becomes an arrow and like points to the, whatever, to Central Park. It's like, well, I wrote all these movies for his dog. Then weeks later, and I think he's going to pay me for this. He told me like, oh no, Disney is paying me to do this. And I didn't know any better. I was like, yes, this is incredible.
Yeah, finally.
I write all these movies. One day he comes home with his bike and his dog and a video camera. He goes, oh, Lizzie, he goes, I got some great footage of Joy today. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, for the movie. And I go, you haven't even read the movie. And he goes, we'll figure out how to put it into the movie. And that's when it dawned on me. He doesn't even understand what he told me to do. He doesn't even remember.
Right.
And I go, what are you talking about? I said, no. The dog is supposed to be in a jean jacket holding a piece of pizza on the subway. And he goes, oh, no, look at this. And he starts showing me footage of his dog running in the rain. And I was like, oh my God. And then a week later, I realized the dog's name wasn't even Joy. It was Joey, but I wrote Joy because it was an accident. And that relationship was terrifying.
And then a year later, it finally dawns on me. I've been the victim of the perfect con. Perfect con
That's true. I mean, I did get to live
Anyone would-
in that building with him.
How long did you live there?
I lived there for a couple months. I hope this isn't too graphic, but he wanted to have a child with me.
Oh my God.
And that was why I had to move out. Yeah, it was really weird. I mean,
Did you guys have sex though?
Of course.
yeah.
And what was it? I mean, he was an older man. How was it?
I remember using a black condom. I never used a black condom.
Or you had them laying around or something?
I feel like it was the kind of thing. I don't know if I felt like at the time restaurants in New York just had bowls of condoms.
There was that.
You know?
Yeah. No, there was really. I'm with you because around the same time when I lived in Austin, I feel like there were just everybody just had a drawer full of condoms that you'd go to parties and there'd just be a bowl of condoms. You're like, I'll just take these, never use them. But they would be red and blue.
Whoa, you're supposed to use them.
They'd be all these different
protection,
colors.
Brendan.
But I feel like there really was this surge of free condoms for about 5 years in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, there absolutely was. I feel like it was one of those. He was also extremely, very religious Jew. And I don't know, there were all these weird rules in his house. And then I remember one time I thought he was also very critical. One time I thought he was leaning in to kiss me, and then he popped my black head.
Ew. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Where was the blackhead?
I think I have one actually in the exact same place right
Oh
now.
my
I always
God,
get
that's a
one,
sign,
right
Lizzy. Consult the cards. It's time to get back with this guy. He's only 70 something now. You still have time. You could still have a kid.
I don't remember. I remember my mom looking him up and being like, oh, he's a very famous artist, Lizzy. Why did my mother condone me dating a 52-year-old guy?
How old was your mom at the time? Probably about the same age, right?
Yeah, he was probably closer to her age. Yeah.
Oh, definitely closer.
It's like Carrie and Carrie Bradshaw and the Russian guy that she was with. It's very similar.
Okay, let's stop it right there. This
And
is
maybe
not
that's where they
not
got
a
the
podcast
idea.
For girls. This is not a podcast for girls.
Well, it's very similar.
Nobody wants to hear anything about Carrie Bradshaw.
Storyline. Did he take you to Paris?
Who
Take you
used
to
to have the joke?
Budapest?
Do you remember that comedian Kevin Williams?
Oh, I love Kevin Williams.
Remember he once had a joke where he's like, my girlfriend told me her idol was Carrie Bradshaw, and I thought she said Terry Bradshaw, the football player.
Yeah. Kevin?
No, he never took me to Paris. This guy, though, I remember one weekend bought me this crazy outfit that I was like, this is so adult. I don't even think I can put this on my body. It was like a black sheer long dress that only had silk over the
Nips and beef.
It wasn't revealing really, and it wasn't flattering, even though it was kind of see-through.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a dress that at the time I was like, I'm a comedian.
Did you ever see him creating art? Was there any evidence of him being a successful sculptor? Was there I imagine the internet wasn't very. You weren't online as much back then as you were. Okay. What?
The first time I went to his apartment, I was like, what is this? It was like a glass box with tiny soldiers all laying down dead inside a glass box.
What was his
And then he had a lot of paintings of soldiers that would be up, right side up, and then upside down. His first name was Reuven, but I can't remember his last name.
That's fascinating. You have a lot of really cool stories.
And you were saying, I mean, I know it's different for Ray. Oh no, Reuven. How do you spell Reuven?
Roven. I wonder if I have his last name somewhere. Amanda, I feel like you probably do as well.
Oh, I think I see. Yeah.
Amanda, tell me a tale.
Oh no, I've never done anything like that. So something like that adventurous or.
I feel
No,
like
I-
in the
You know,
what you were saying though about like because I know you're a woman, you're like, oh, I was like going inviting people to plays and like going. I feel like going to a strange guy's house. My 20s were filled with stuff like that too, and I think it's two things. I think it is part of being young, but also it really is. I mean, not to make us sound like the old fucks we are. But it was just such a different time too. Like it wasn't, I don't know. I feel like things were like more free in
Yeah.
the like early,
Right.
definitely
what
in
my
like the
mom-
late 90s, like
you-
everything before 9/11.
You know what my
and then
mom
after.
said?
What?
It kind of goes along with this, but like, our daughter's going to be in kindergarten and Brendan's mom ordered her a backpack with her name on it, which I thought was like
right.
cute to have her name on it. And I told my mom, I'm like, oh, look at this backpack Marley's going to get. It's going to have her name on it. And she's like, well, when you were young in school, they told us not to put
Yeah.
your name on the backpack because then a stranger outside can see it and say, oh, Marley, come here. Like, I'm going to pick you up from school, whatever. Like, they told us
Yeah.
not to do that. But I'm like, nowadays, kids can't leave the school until the
Right.
teacher sees the parent, and then the teacher releases the student like through a locked gate that someone's closing. I'm just
It's all
like,
for your safety.
well, but what I'm saying is like that doesn't seem like that would ever be an issue. But again, that was like a long time ago where it was free, where kids, okay, you're done with school, you can just go walk home and whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was just a different
It
time.
could be
where
like
now
that.
You can't do
It
that.
could be like that still. It's just, it's all manufactured hysteria.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s, there was this whole satanic panic thing, which was real. I mean, it wasn't really happening, but people there was a whole daycare that the people's lives were ruined because they were there. I don't know the whole details of the story, but there were these like psychologists that were doing everything wrong and leading kids like into spinning these yarns of like weird satanic abuse where they would like ask leading questions and
Yeah.
and then they would draw like a weird picture. And there was this daycare somewhere where it was like the whole family was accused of like
Oh, God,
all
that's
this
terrible.
horrible shit. They all went to jail, and then it was like proven like, oh, it was all the psychologists were quacks and they didn't do any of
Yeah.
that stuff. But it was a whole thing. Like, I mean,
There's a thing in psychology where it is sort of this like repressed memory, like getting kids to say like all these things happened, or adults too, like, oh, you were abused and all this stuff, and like people are like, yeah, I think I was, and then they make
Yeah.
up all these stories. I mean, with kids it's tricky too because whatever. But also, I didn't do anything fun like that in my 20s because I started dating Brendan when I was about 23, so
that's your
I've been
fault.
kind of locked down.
It's your
By the
fault.
time I was 26, I had a 1-year-old, so I didn't really get to have any fun. It kind of sucks.
Can
And I
you
regret
guys see
it.
yourself living in a small town?
I regret
like
it.
Virgin River?
I don't know what Virgin River is, but
We'll watch it. We'll watch it.
I don't think I care.
Please.
I probably would like it. I think I would.
Does it suck? Because then Amanda would. Do they have fake English accents? Because then Amanda would definitely love it.
Is there a lot of sexual
No, it's-
tension and like? Is it Bridgerton?
It's supposed to take place near like Humboldt County and Eureka and stuff like that. It's supposed to take place in California, but I think it's shot in Vancouver. But it's like Netflix's Hallmark movie,
Is Cornell Reed
Hallmark
in it?
special.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna like it. I just know.
I think you'll get into it.
Those are very interesting stories. Those two that happened, back to back in your when you first moved to New York. That's another thing too. I feel like when you're young and new to a place and like still have that like anything is possible kind of vibe. That's you find like lots of adventures like that
and you're not
happen.
sucked into your phone.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, nobody had phones.
No.
You know
I
what?
mean, if you did, you had a
I would
flip phone.
never. I wouldn't even talk to a stranger now.
For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/World Record Podcast. For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/World Record Podcast. Patreon.com/World Record Podcast.